start up. How's everybody doing? Just you and me here. When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't shed a tear. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand. Stand by me. If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, and the mountain should crumble to the sea, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me.
All right. Welcome. Nice to see faces. What do you know? Jason Goldstein, everybody. Let's give him some love.
Thank you.
So welcome to those of you here in the center and you at home. It's also masks optional at home, so you can take your mask off if you like. But, it's nice to have you all here today. And good to see that if you prefer to wear your mask, you're certainly welcome to do that. I will be joining you when I step off of here, just to offer some moral support, if nothing else. And so, whenever you're watching, however you're watching, welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living here in Granada Hills, where we welcome all who practice their beliefs in faith and love. You just heard from Jason Goldstein. Today, our presider is the lovely Reverend Nancy Woods, who is also our assistant minister. So let's give her some love here in the room. And you're welcome to give her some love on the chat. And we're going to take a deep, conscious breath together and release as we allow ourselves to surrender to this eternal now moment as we come together for our call to service, which we call lighting the flames of faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. And fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thoughts and experience, which we honor here this morning. So as Reverend Nancy lights the first candle, it's for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. The sixth candle we light for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. The seventh candle we light for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. The eighth candle we light for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. The ninth candle we light for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And the 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them here in our sanctuary, within our online community, and within our own hearts. And as Reverend Nancy lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone you wish to have experience the healing flame of God's eternal love.
There is one flame that burns in our hearts. There is one light that shines through our love. We light this flame with faith. We light this flame with faith. We find this light within our own souls. There is one flame, one light within.
So as we turn our thoughts within to that one flame of the divine presence in us, through us, and as us, it is with the consciousness of gratitude we step into this hour together and know that that one presence, that one creative spirit of the universe, that which is the essence of it all, is what we are recognizing and realizing and experiencing as we see and experience each other. Knowing that that divine presence is the expression of each one of us. It's knowing that we have gathered here as a result of the awareness and understanding that there is an infinite presence in which we can continue to experience and expand our experience of it. So as we open ourselves up to this awareness, we open ourselves up for a blessing from the music, from each person that participates, from the sound, and each and every one who participates, whether we just listening, expressing, or thinking, knowing that the message that is being brought forth is a message that is guided by the Spirit within. So as we step into this opportunity with open arms and open heart, it is with joy and true appreciation. And I say, thank you, spiritual presence. Thank you, the divine light within. Thank you, each and every representative of that presence of the divine spirit that sits before me. I accept that this guidance is the love of the universe, saying yes. We unite in knowing this and embracing this. As we say together, and so it is. I forgot that audience out there. Hi. And thank you all for joining me. It is really nice to see faces before me and experience the idea and understanding that we really do come here to acknowledge and expand our understanding of spirit itself. And it comes through the message, but it also comes through the greetings that we give each other, the love that we feel is flowing between us. This is really the opportunity that we are given to enrich the awareness of the spiritual presence that is in our lives. And in doing so, we can experience this and go forth in this energy so that all the people around us outside of this experience can share in this light of truth, the light of peace, the light of love that we gather here to acknowledge. I think that more than ever, I'm aware that Spirit is giving us this opportunity to develop our ability to let our light shine more so that we have a greater, brightness to take into the world. I really feel like the world is kind of waiting for this bright light that we are acknowledging. It is waiting to feel it and to see it. And even though we may experience things that don't seem to be coming from this light, I think that I'm beginning to learn that things that are unfolding and developing I see it as an opportunity that is tapping us on the shoulder that we need to shine this light a little brighter. We need to be stronger in the awareness and understanding of the truth. Knowing the oneness of life is knowing that each consciousness can bless the thousands of people. And knowing that and understanding that, we are given this wondrous opportunity to enrich each other as we come in this experience, because this is an experience where I'm experiencing light all over the place. So, and in experiencing this light, it helps me bring my light up a little brighter, because I'm experiencing the reality, the realness of Spirit's presence in the face of others. So I'm getting a good practice with this experience. And when I go forth, it'll help me even more to see it in others. And as we see it in others, they can tap someone else on the shoulder. We are the light. I think that going forward in our church and our experience from this place, the truth of how strong this light is. It's ready to blossom. We are on the living edge of life. Let's let it blossom, knowing that all the people around us will see this light and awaken to their own light. So we are a divine opportunity in this universe for the light of God to spread around the world, so we can rejoice and be happy to know who and what we are, and just bathe in it. And thank you for joining us on this wondrous journey of truth. And thank you for letting me share that.
Thank you. Good morning, you guys. It's nice to see everyone's faces, literally. Okay. The song is gorgeous. I'm excited to share it with you.
Grand Earth has quaked before, moved by the sound of his voice. Seas that are shaken and stirred can be calmed and broken from my regard. Through it all, my eyes are on you. Through it all, it is well. Through it all, my eyes are on you, and it is well with me. For be it from me to not believe, even when my eyes can't see. And this mountain that's in front of me will be thrown into the midst of the sea. And through it all, my eyes are on you. And through it all, it is well. Through it all, my eyes are on you, and it is well. It is well. So let go, my soul, and trust in Him. The waves and wind still know His name. So let go, my soul, and trust in Him. The waves and wind still know His name. The waves and wind, they still know His name. It is well. With my soul, soul. It is well with my soul. It is well. It is well with my soul. And through it all, my eyes are on you. Through it all, it is well. Through it all, my eyes are on you, and it is well with me. With me.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Isn't that beautiful? Thank you, Jason. That was
Thank you.
just feels good. It really feels good. So the announcements for today. There's nobody new. Everybody has been here before, I think. And welcome. And make sure you greet somebody extra at the end of service today. Say one of the loving hellos that you got in. And if you want prayer support, our practitioners are really online. Prayer works. It is the basic understanding of this philosophy. It works. So whether you want to expand your good that is already great or to develop it from the nugget that you have in your consciousness, a practitioner is always a plus to do that with. And today also we have our fellowship meeting, and that's at 11:45. So all of you out there, join us on the fellowship meeting so that you can have a chance to share in the love of somebody looking at you and saying hello. And that's going to be facilitated by Agneta. And she's all the way from Arizona. She's going to pull in that energy. And Agneta is always about a loving energy. So join her at 11:45. And in the Healing Support Group is up next week, April the 10th at 1 o'clock. So if you have something that you really want to focus in on, or you have someone that you want to support in a healing, join Reverend Jessica as she has the Healing Support Group next week. And I want to invite everybody that is looking for having a good step back into the normalcy of life to join us at Lake Arrowhead on the 27th to the 30th. And join us because it's not only Arrowhead, it's not only a beautiful environment, but the food is wonderful, the environment, and so to have that consciousness and such beauty and the wonder of nature. So we always have a good time. So join us for that on the 27th. And also, Debbie is telling me that the greeters group, they are going to have some refreshments for us on Easter Sunday. So all of you out there online, come and join us in person and see what good is. And she said they were healthy goodies too. Scott's going to make sure of that one. And so join us on Easter Sunday if you are online, and just come on in and let us all be together on this wondrous raising ourselves back out of this last year, a couple of years. So I think it would be a wonderful event to be in person and enjoying in the energy of being in person. So thank you, Debbie, for the idea and the understanding that we welcome you with something, a tidbit of food, a message, and a beautiful music. So come and join us for that. And I think that's all the announcements. So would you stand and say the Declaration of Principles with me? We believe in one universal spirit manifesting through all, natural and incarnated in us. We believe in the universal spirit is personal too and reveals itself through everyone who recognizes its presence. We believe our faith operates upon a law of mind which automatically manifests in our experience according to that faith. We believe in the unity of all life, the immortality of the individual soul forever expanding. We believe in eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the giveness of life to all.
You can join me on this one.
We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be.
One more time.
We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be.
Very nice. Good for you, just letting that vibe. I like the sounds you get out of that piano.
It's a nice keyboard here.
It is. We spent real money on that thing. It's nice to hear someone who knows how to use it. Nice, thank you. So welcome everyone. It's nice to have you all here with us. Nice to have you joining us online as well. As I said, whenever you're joining us. So happy Thursday, just in case it's... and it's a month of April. Right? So we're staying with this annual theme, Resurrect, Rebuild, Renew. Our April theme is Renewal. Our contributors for the month are Reverend Elizabeth Schneider, Reverend Kathy Lyons, and Agneta Byland, who's joining us out for the fellowship today out in Arizona. Flagstaff, I believe. So, man, it's a month of April already. I mean, it kind of blows my mind. And so we make welcome that old saying, April showers, bring May flowers. I don't know if that's true in California. It used to be true in Ohio. But you know, we sure can use it. We know that for sure. So we may not know precisely what's going on with the weather these days, but what I do know for sure is that it's a busy time in the church calendar. So yesterday, our friends of the Islamic faith observed the first day of Ramadan. So we have I have at least one friend that I know of who's observing the fast, which, you know, is amazing to me. I don't know who's doing that. I'm just trying to get through a day without eating corn chips on the releasing the COVID-19. Yeah, so I'm doing good. I got a little more room in the suit. There's room to move around now, so that's good. So they're doing their Ramadan thing, and then, of course, next Sunday is Palm Sunday, and then Passover, and then Easter. So we have the three Abrahamic religions front and center for the next few weeks. And of course, the universal holiday of spirits, that being spring break. And which means that our teachers have made it to spring break. So congratulations. Yay. So if you know any teachers, you know what I'm talking about. It's like, how long until June? So they get their time too in the sun as well. So congratulations, teachers. And you know, gratitude is spiritual. And what I know is that many teachers, those last week or two before spring break, they all find religion just trying to get through to the break. And so our contributors, as I said, Reverend Elizabeth, Reverend Kathy, and Agneta chose this theme of renewal. And our talk title today, Living in the Now. And but they point out that in order to live in the now, it's important that we let go of the past and not scheme too much in the future, but to stay right where we are, which is in the right now. And you know, this letting go business is a common theme in all spiritual systems, but particularly in New Thought. Because what we know is that it's very difficult, if not impossible, to create our most effective life today if we're still hanging on to those old ways of being and thinking of yesterday, or even sometimes yesteryear. So our crew this month offers this consideration that, remember, the past can be a reference point. It's a reference point, but we can't control what happened in the past. And further, it's useless to worry about the future. To focus on the here and now is to accept and enjoy this present moment. And our point of power, the now, is our point of power. So one of the first things that we learn about life when we come to places like this is the notion that there is a power for good in the universe available to everyone, and we can use it. And so right away we kind of start playing around with this, right? So remember when you first started coming around and hearing these things. We start playing around with this thing called the law of cause and effect with some success. Right, because we started from zero. So when it's new stuff, that we are awestruck with the power of spirit and amazed amazed by our own consciousness, our own conscious use of it. And it doesn't take long to shift that life of cheesy aggravations that we came in here with into a life that is unstuck and has a sense of forward momentum, a sense of now we're getting somewhere, right? Maybe for the first time in years, we start to connect with others within the spiritual community, right? We found our tribe. You know, life is good. And there's only been 2 times when I've really been aware of that. One was, you know, I'm one of those lucky people at my very first 12-step meeting, which I really needed like 3 years before I got there. And the first time I found my way to this place, which I also needed about 3 years before I got here, right? So we decide, so we have some success in playing around with this law of cause and effect. We start to unpack our thinking a little bit. And so we get a little sense of confidence, and we decide to tackle the stuff that we believe is actually more difficult to demonstrate. Whether it's in the arena of relationships, in money, health, or career. And inevitably, life being what it is, we bump into something in this life that is going to challenge us, right? Now, of course we would. You know, we chose to incarnate in this 3-dimensional life, from the 4th dimension, from whence we came, into this 3-dimensional life. We bump up against some challenges. We start to feel some resistance. And we're like, what's all this? Right? And we start, what's wrong with my consciousness that's creating all this stuff? So I remember when I was new, I came to Reverend Nancy, and I had this construction business, and I was demonstrating, but I was demonstrating a lot of BS. I was getting audited again, right? And I just had a lot of construction business, so you can fill in the blanks if you've ever had a contractor working at your house. It was manageable, but it was still aggravating. And in the end, they had to pay me. But that's another story. When I was in it, I'm like, what's going on here? What is all this? You know? And then that resistance that we experienced has now morphed into struggle. And you know, the struggle, if indulged, then leads to doubt. And you can't help but think, you know, God, what do I got to do? I'm going to church on Sundays. I've taken all those classes. I even give money on Sunday. Life should be better than this. And our faith then begins to slip a bit. We ask ourselves, who am I kidding? You know, this stuff doesn't work. And we begin to draw in on ourselves. And we stop checking in with friends, especially those overly cheery friends. Right? You know, the ones where it's always sunny in Philadelphia, right? And then we start to see our tribe as tormentors. And you know, when you're feeling miserable, who wants to come in Sunday and hear all that woo-woo stuff from those happy heretics, right? Am I the only one who's had this experience? Really? Well, where's the mirror? I got to keep talking to myself then. So what's changed, right? So Reverend Nancy, just to finish that story, I said, you know, I'm just not demonstrating. She said, you know, Mike, you have a very strong consciousness. Look at all this crap you've demonstrated. So what's changed? Spirit hasn't changed. Spirit hasn't changed. The Spirit is eternal. And in fact, we still accept that fact. The Spirit is eternal. We believe that still, and yet something's amiss. Right? Our health is not where we want it. Our bank book is looking a little slack. You know, where is that special someone? I'm feeling, and maybe I'm just feeling kind of dry on the inside a little bit. Right? And that law of circulation thing that you all keep talking about, it seems to be working for everyone else, but for me, it feels like it's stuck in reverse. In fact, it kind of feels like I'm being run over by it right now. Right? It's kind of like a contagion has taken over me for the last 2 years. Right? Now I got to tell you, I used to get concerned about such things. I used to get concerned in the past when I would have these times that I've learned to call the doldrums, right, which is a sailing term, right, where for a flat sea with no wind. I used to be concerned over such things. But you know, one of the great things about getting older is having perspective about life. Right? Before I was getting perspective about life. But now I'm officially have perspective about life. Because I turned 65 this year. I got perspective. Including our spiritual life. Including our spiritual life. Because when we come to understand that there's this impermanency to life, that when we get enough life experience around us, we know that things change. They just do. It's part of life. So Rene Descartes, this is for Phil, if you would be a real seeker after truth, not because he's of this, but because he's a philosophy guy, if you would be a real seeker after truth, it is necessary that at least once in your life you doubt as far as possible in all things. Now, I don't know that that's such a bad thing, doubt. Because the truth is when we're at the end of our rope, we are on the leading edge of the next yet great to be. Now, people have doubt in all kinds of things. People have doubt in all kinds of things these days. There's a lack of faith in newspapers, elections, vaccines, COVID. We've lost faith in each other. Maybe we've even lost faith in the idea that God is good and only good, or that God is all there is. That it's now become a concept rather than something that we're feeling. And I want to say to you that if you ever find yourself in this predicament, it is not necessary. It is not necessary that you have absolute faith. It's as much as to have faith in the absolute. Absolute faith is not as important as having that faith in the absolute. So if you ever find yourself in this kind of situation, I want you to hang on to this notion, because often it is simply it is an intellectual exercise. And I think some folks think that, it's supposed to be this big Grateful Dead moment, a festival kind of moment with the Spirit, and it is that at times. But if it was like that all the time, we would burn out. And so we hit the doldrums, and what we're doing really is knowing the truth. That despite of what we're seeing going on out there, there is a universal truth that never wavers. And that is that the Spirit is absolute. Again, we're not at the end of our rope. We are working our leading edge. we can lean on that which we already know intellectually until the heart catches up. There is a power for good in the universe, whether we feel it or not. It's still there. Now, Raymond Charles Barker once wrote that we don't call on the name of Edison to turn on the light or the name of God to turn on the power. We need only to recognize it and to know that it's there. Now, I have found that when I find myself in such straits, I have to look to the shadowy aspects of my present self, the stuff I don't want to look at. I really need to be willing to step into that cave that I most fear to dwell. And so what am I most afraid of with my finances? And am I willing to find the true answers or to stay locked in a story that may or may not be true? Am I ready to look at what's eating me? What's driving those behaviors around overeating or avoiding exercise or even getting to the doctor? What unconscious behaviors am I engaging in that sabotage my success in relationships or health or money or career? What resentment or hurt am I afraid of to address with my beloved that keeps us locked out of each other's heart? Now, one of the lessons that we are learning from Marianne Williamson is that any and all of these energetic blockages that we experience in life are knots of fear. And I've come to think of them like if you've ever gotten a massage and the therapist says, oh, you got a knot right here, right? We know what that's like. That within our consciousness there are these, and sometimes within our body as well, there are these knots of fear. Those shadowy knots of fear can only be undone with the energetic light of love. That these fears may be tied to past real experiences, for sure, or stuff we're afraid may be true about ourselves. Because it's the stuff that's up in here probably isn't true anyway, because it's so wrapped up in our perceptions and our judgments and all this other stuff. Now, these shadowy knots of fear are always connected to some unresolved places of not enoughness. That's really going on. That is often subtly concealed like a foe inside a Trojan horse. So we get what we want, right? The horse, the Trojan horse, this wonderful gift. And then when we're not looking, out come the Greeks. Right? Those subtle ways of being that aren't really serving us. And it may look like anxiety around a date or a promotion, maybe stretching to get into a mortgage, attending a class reunion, right? All Trojan horses with not enoughness inside. Now, in the 365 today that we've also been working with, Holmes acknowledges that this human life comes with challenges, often judging ourselves, and of course, if we're judging ourselves, then we get into judging others also and often far too harshly. And Holmes writes this, that we are all human and we have all made mistakes. The starting point for creating a better future for ourselves is to deliberately free our minds from the mistakes of yesterday and feel that they need no longer be held against us. They need no longer be a liability. Because the truth is, warts and all, you are enough just as you are. So I know you have stuff. I have stuff. It's important that we not call it my stuff or your stuff. We don't want to own it. We just want to acknowledge that there's stuff. It's part of this three-dimensional life of which we have chosen to incarnate in. And that you are enough, that the past is for information only. And in this present moment, right now, you have all you need. You are enough. That is, David Walker wrote in his book, you are worth more than you will ever experience, but you will only experience what you think you are worth. So this is where the work is, to choose to unhitch ourselves gently from what we think about ourselves, to gently unhitch ourselves from what others think about us, maybe even more important, and instead hitch ourselves to the living Spirit in this moment. So if we make every day, this is from Holmes, if we make every day a day of praise and thanksgiving, a day in which we recognize the divine bounty and the eternal goodness, and if we live today as though God were the only presence and the only power there is, we would not have to worry about tomorrow. And you know, sometimes we may have to pretend, act as if that is so. Act as if everything that presents itself to us today is a gift from the divine itself. Whether it's our favorite song on the radio, or a parking space, or our favorite food in the supermarket is half off, right? An old friend calls. Our annoying sister calls. It's all a gift. Let's just take a breath into this moment. As we recognize and know that there is that within me that's never been violated in any way. It is the infinite power and presence of the divine, alive and well in the soul of me, that each within our own experience, we're connecting with this idea, allowing the vibration of this song now to take us a little deeper, to connect with it, not just in an intellectual way, but within our own hearts. So Jason, take us there.
am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I am light. I am not mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that cause me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age, I'm not my race. My soul inside is all light. It's all light. Yeah, I am light. I am light.
Alive.
I am light.
Let's sing with Jason here a couple bars.
I am light. 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 I am light.
Be still and know that I am God. I am the Christ, the Son of the living God. It is within me and within all beings. I am the principle of peace. Within me, I am the manifestation of love within me. My mind is poised in peace and beauty. All sense of fear and doubt is gone. I rest in the calm trust and rely on the law of spirit to bring good into my experience. I contend with none, argue with none. I am filled with a wonderful peace and light. There is no uncertainty about my future and no fear. As a result of my past, I live in an eternal now, which is filled with good alone. Goodness and beauty follow me. Peace and joy accompany me. Happiness and wholeness fill my entire being with the realization of love and perfection. I choose love. I choose life. I am light.
I am light. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light. I am light. I am light.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Nicely done. So if Yasmin, would you mind bringing the basket up front, please? So we're going to take some time to practice generosity by means of our offering. And we'll just put it here on the chair. There you go. So if you've come prepared with a physical offering, just make your way up to the basket. If you're joining us online, you know the many ways to practice giving by now after a couple of years. So let's go into our offering chant.
Spirit gives through me, Spirit receives through me, Spirit lives and breathes through me. Spirit lives and breathes through me. Spirit gives through you, Spirit receives through you, Spirit lives and breathes through you. Spirit lives and breathes through you. Spirit gives through us, Spirit receives through us, Spirit lives and breathes through us. Spirit lives and breathes through us.
So going within for just a moment longer, recognizing and knowing that this basket represents the heart of the individual, that generous heart that knows and knows that it knows that God is our source, our substance, our supply. It also represents the heart of this spiritual community as we receive these gifts with deep love, appreciation, and respect, as we know together they go forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless not only the vision and mission of this Center for Spiritual Living, but anyone connected to it in any way. That we extend this greeting to our friends, to everyone in the community of Granada Hills, our city of Los Angeles, our state of California, our United States of America, all of its churches, temples, mosques, schools, universities, the people who attend them, the people who support them, for our planet as well, that we know that all of it is demonstrating as the infinite mind in expression, and to the extent that we know this to be so, we see it demonstrating in ways great and small. This lifts our hearts. We feel a sense of grace and power that propels us into ways of spiritual living that not only lift our own lives, but raise the lives of those around us as well. And that's a good thing. And together we acknowledge this by saying, and so it is. Amen. So please, online and here in the house, help me thank Mr. Jason Goldstein one more time.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
And the lovely Reverend Nancy Woods, just so dour and low energy. That we're delighted always to have you here on Sunday, our assistant minister. And she's going to pray us out now. So pray us out, Rev. And welcome. Nice to have you here today.
It is truly with a sense of joy that I say thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to know and to understand and to appreciate that divine presence. And to gain in the awareness that it is flowing in us, through us, and as us. And the blessings of it says living in the now is the only time that there is. And as we go forth from this experience, appreciating that divine light that is within each and every one of us. And knowing that being in this awareness means that we are able to see and feel and experience that light in others. So this is a joyous moment, a joyous state of awareness as we say thank you for this time and energy and experience of sharing the truth of who and what we are, and know that through the songs and the message and the shared energy of love, that we can go forth with a greater bounce in our step of knowing that life has blessed us in these moments, and the fruits of it just keeps blooming with every step we take forward from this moment. So it's with great joy I welcome each and every one to join me in this consciousness of gratitude and appreciation as we say together, and so it is.
Please join me in singing the peace song.
Begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as the power, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.